Hey everyone, and welcome to another video with myself, Scott Volker, and Joe Marshall. Joe, hey, how's it going?
Good, good. I like that we have a lesson now on what our students are practicing from the easy workshop.
Yeah, no, this is great, and this is going to be another picture from one of our students, but we're going to share it with everyone, all of our subscribers on NPB, and we're going to get it out there because I know this is going to help a lot of people. But again, we want to do this in under 10 minutes, so let's get rolling here. Now, this picture was sent in by Darren, and Darren, he had some questions about lighting on this. He wanted to know how it was and how to avoid shadows and stuff, and we're going to talk about that briefly. But we see some other things here that we can do to improve this shot, not even with the lighting. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about clothing. We're going to talk a little bit about posing, stuff like that, because there's some key things that you can do here real easily to make this picture even better. But let's first talk about the lighting, because obviously this came from our lighting workshop. So Joe, let's talk about this. Now, Darren sent this in. This is of his family. Great looking group. But the one thing is, I think Darren, he set this up and then ran back and did the self-timer thing. You can kind of tell he just kind of ran back there. And we're going to talk about that. But right off the bat, I see everybody is pretty well lit except Darren, okay? And I think the reason is because of the positioning. So, Joe, let's talk a little bit about that. How can we fix this right now to get him lit up more so this way here we get more of the flash evenly across the whole picture?
Well, I think you suggested it when you said that Darren had to run into place. Darren is not behind the camera, so he cannot see that his son over to his left is blocking his face. So if you do see that, though, from behind the camera and you're looking at your subjects, you can say to somebody, lean over your belt, or at least lean forward, because he's backed up a little bit and he's going to have the person to his left or right is going to cast a shadow if your light is over there. So that's what we see there. Now, there are a few little shadows from noses and stuff because he's using maybe one light and he's got 6 people in the shot. So what I like to do is you can use a reflector to bounce it back, but sometimes you just have to use another light, and that fill light can be back over your shoulder, over by the camera. It will now fill in any of those tiny little places that have dark shadows that you can't see from your eye, but you know that now that you've got a nice little fill coming at you from the camera side. It's not your main, it's not the on top of the flash, but it will fill in those shadows. Now, the other thing is we can talk about the clothing, Scott.
Yeah, no, I think we should talk about that. And my only thing I'm going to say on that, and I'll let you go into that a little more detail, just from experience, is basically you want to stay away from prints, okay? And you want to stay away from plaids, and you want to stay away from designs and busy patterns. You want to stay away from that. And I'm seeing a lot of that going on. So my eye, the very first thing that I do is I look at the dress, I look at the boy's shirt, I even look at the plaid in the front of the picture with another little girl, and then I see the mom has a little bit on hers. I mean, hers is, I don't want to say it's acceptable. I mean, you could get away with it, but it's still there. The actual black shirt that she has on is better. The dad, Darren, has the striped shirt. Kind of can get away with that. I still would rather have a solid shirt. Now, if all these people were in just solid black, or they were in solid white with blue jeans, it would be 100 times better. I mean, don't you agree with that, Joe?
Yeah, we want this to look like it's a family unit and a whole cohesive, cohesive family setting. So we get them all together. I mean, it'd be fun. It's dress up day for the pictures, and we'll also try to get long sleeves so that we don't have bare arms and a lot of skin. We want the face to be the predominant skin in the picture.
Yeah, no, and we want to draw our eye to the faces. That's what we really want to do. So now let's talk about this. What could we do to position everyone in this picture? I like to think of it like basically putting together a puzzle, because there's a lot of gaps in those heads, and there's a lot of gaps in between each other, and no one is really connecting with each other. We want everyone to connect with each other, and there's some simple things you can do. So let's talk about mom and dad first, okay? First thing we need to do with them is we need to turn them into each other, and we need to say to them, all right, for 15 minutes, I need you to pretend like you like each other. I mean, that works all the time. Then it loosens up everybody. They start to laugh. They giggle. The kids are laughing. And it just brings up that mood where everybody's kind of having fun, and it's going to be more natural. So turn the mom and dad into each other first. Maybe even have the dad put his arm around her just to kind of pull her in. Even though you might not see it, you're still going to see more of a connection. And then I would probably say take the two end kids and then turn them in again. Maybe, maybe the son is kind of got his one shoulder almost behind his dad. Okay, and that connects everything in, and then the two subjects in the front, they could be facing each other as well. Or maybe the girl on the right, as we're looking, maybe she can put her arm around her sister, just on her elbow, down by her elbow. And maybe the two girls in the front do have their hands the way they are, but maybe they're turned to each other. Okay, and that's just going to be a simple thing to connect everyone together. Joe, any other tips? I know you have this what you call the triangle method. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Well, we want the faces to form little triangles. Now, they could be reverse triangles. The kid is smaller in the front. So if we move this little girl in the black print with her hand on her arm, she'll close up that gap between the father and the son, and that's a triangle. If you can see that the face, it's reversed because the little girl, but you've got a triangle going there. You move the other little girl in the plaid over to, she's right. You don't want heads over heads. Right now she's underneath the mother and the one girl is underneath the dad. So if you just shift them, you're the director. You put people in place and you say, oh, do you want to be next to your brother, or is that too icky? Or, like Scott said, you make some little comments that are fun and you keep these people laughing and happy to be doing whatever you tell them to do, because they don't know. They can't see themselves here. You're the one that has to be the director on the shot. We want triangles. Usually the dad is the head of the household. So you put him up at the top of a pyramid, and you want to have everything else being tiered down till you have a base. And you all know what a triangle is. But with each little face, you make the triangles. But as the group, the whole group should form a triangle with the dad at the top. And you might move one of the daughters over to one side. And if the son is still too tall and is not coming down like a pyramid, have them seated on a stool. Or there's some little footstools that people can put their foot on. It picks up the smaller ones, and the chair will make the other ones drop down a little lower. That's what you're thinking of here.
Yeah, and I think basically, like you said, you need to be the director, okay? And you need to know these things. And as you do more, you're going to see, what works and what doesn't work, and you're going to have your own little setups for a certain amount of people. But even if you only have 3 people, basically these rules, these techniques apply, okay? And you can basically use the same thing. And like we said, make them connect. Make it make it almost like one giant, the one piece. You don't want it to be 6 pieces or 4 pieces. You want it to be, one piece. And it makes lighting easier, okay? Because now you're not, having all these shadows of people overlapping each other. And it also just makes it look tighter and, more together. And that's really what I want to leave everyone with, is you can do small little things to make really big improvements in your portraits. And, right here with just those few things, that portrait can be so much better. So I guess what I would say is, Darren, if you can, go out there and recreate this shot for us. Go out and take what we just talked about and apply that and take another shot for us. And then we'd love to see what your end result would be and see how it's looking, because I guarantee you that it's going to be a much better shot than this. Again, not saying that this is horrible, but it's just going to make it better, a lot better. Okay, so that's it. That's really going to wrap up this video. I hope you've got a lot out of it. We really had a lot of fun making this video for you, as we always do. And please, if you have any questions, feel free to email myself or Joe, and we'd love to maybe even do a video like this for you. All right, so that's it. That's going to wrap up this video. We'll talk to you later.